Hey everyone. Last week we talked a little bit about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and just some changes that I saw structurally in my body as I healed. And I wanted to encourage people, but I want to go back to that and I want to see it from a different perspective. I wanted to bring that up because I want to talk that our body is designed to heal and all of that, but I also want to look at how important it is to not identify with our diagnoses. That includes Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I know for me, I didn't have that label for a very long time. And when I finally did, it did answer some questions. It was like, oh, that makes sense. And so you even get some just validation, like, oh, okay, that's why. And that helped for a little bit. I actually personally still didn't want to identify it with it. So I didn't tell people. I didn't want labels. I didn't receive a few labels. I never received an MS label either that a specialist chucked at me. I don't know. I no. But I feel like I did receive that one kind of like in the background. And I think even maybe in online groups and stuff, but not just to people that I was talking to. I just didn't want to talk about what was going on. I didn't want to be labeled, all of that. And I know I've shared this in a lot of my testimonies, but then at some point, because a lot of my story was not being believed by important people in my life. And it's just because of the craziness and severity of the symptoms. And so a counselor, I'm not blaming her, but because it's up to me, totally my choice. And I was, very much living with, I don't know, I still had some hope, but just in that victim mentality, I didn't know what I know now. So anyway, I'm not that person. So I'm not like excusing it. I'm saying it was bad. It was bad. I don't want to live in victim. I'm just saying I'm also not feeling guilty anymore. I used to feel really guilty. Um, and that person is literally dead. So I don't like talking about this stuff, but I talk about it sometimes if it could help somebody. Okay. So, sorry. And I have shared that in testimony or two that so at some point, the counselor told me that I really needed to actually, because at some point I had told her more. And so she was like, you really need to actually label all those diagnoses. There were a lot of them. I just wasn't willing to share. And so I did, especially Ehlers-Danlos as the zebras, I was giving zebra gifts and I think I even bought something myself. Like it made it kind of positive. For a short time, I had validation from people. People were like, whoa, all of that's going on. Wow. We thought you just, the doctor saying nothing was wrong, but you were still suffering. So, but I was like, no, I have lots of things and lots of things that were tested and whatever. And so I felt validated. It felt good. Horrible place to be, right? I don't want to be my authentic flesh. I want to be that whole authentic self, be authentic. I'm not an authentic flesh, but I am authentically child of God, born again, filled with the Holy Spirit, life in me. So I was totally identifying with the flesh and the brokenness. And but it helped for a little bit to be validated. And then I got much worse, right? And that's what so often happens. It happens in avoidance behaviors, in extreme diets. For a little bit, it really helps. So then you're like, that's what helped. It helped. And so I kept thinking it helped to identify with this, right? It helped me. Things got a little better. I don't know why they're getting so much worse now. Same with extreme diets and all of that avoidance behavior. It was like, it helped, of course. Why would I eat so strictly if it didn't help? It did initially. And then it just changes. You become this person who does that and you live in fear of all the things that had made you sick and these other things made you better. And so the same thing here, I became this person with Ehlers-Danlos and slew of other symptoms. Okay. And it definitely made me a lot worse in time. But again, I didn't see that at the time. I didn't see what was doing it. As I started to learn about who am I identifying with? What am I? What am I saying? It was very powerful. And so I want you to completely disidentify with diagnoses. Okay. Sometimes we need to explain things to get certain help from doctors. you need to sandwich that with laugh with me sessions with me, or, something, because you have to do things sometimes, but you need to really realize, like I would say, I am experiencing these things. Yes, I have this diagnosis, or, I've been given this diagnosis. I don't receive it. Like I just did what I could to separate myself from it. And then I got to not go to doctors anymore, which was fantastic. Anyway, so I haven't been in a long time, but, so anyway, don't identify. It's really powerful. It's really powerful to just have one identity. For me, I have decided I've given my life to Christ. I am a child of God. Everybody's a creation of God. Everybody's beloved of God. And if you choose to make Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior, which you can do, and ask me if you need more, I say I'm a child of God. I don't receive any other labels. I don't receive personality test labels, because I'm not going to pigeonhole myself and limit myself. I'm not going to limit what God can do in me to transform me by stopping myself in. So I don't have those. And with the label and all the doctors and all the things, there's fear. And, at first, a little bit of the knowledge. I mean, there's things that helped me get help, but overall, then they add on fear, and the things you research and the groups you're in, whoa, do they add on fear. Got to get out of those groups, those Facebook groups that are focused on that. You got to get out. They are not helping you. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, if you can have one that's truly a sense of community, just of kind of understanding, but not talking about it at all and only sharing the positive things, sure, but you can have that community anyway, anywhere. So, not helpful. And the pain can come from, people have the same set of symptoms and stuff from so many different diagnoses and labels, right? So it's not saying the pain isn't real. It's not saying you're not experiencing it, but you can have a really unstable joint, but you still have to have a force, an imbalance in muscles. So be holding stress in your body, right? That's why I teach somatic classes, to help us learn to be present and release and just not hold on. And that's why I lead praise and worship, like point your focus elsewhere. Cast your cares on Jesus, right? Take that weight off of you. There's so many things that go into that. The identity is the biggest piece, and knowing the true nature and character of God. But and we teach about that in 3 sessions all week, every day. Join us, janetmassey.com. But I really want you to know that separating yourself from that identity helps. So there's hope, our tissue heals, but separate yourself. And so much we need to control any movement we have. So we need to move and be free to move. And if you're trying to strengthen, I was always trying to strengthen, but you're trying to strengthen being perfect and exact. And oh my gosh, I have to be so careful. You are in stress. So as I started swimming again, swimming was the hardest thing for my body to do, because I had trained so well to try and do it perfect and not hurt so much, because it hurt so much. I loved swimming, but it hurt so much. And so because I had pain since I was a kid, and it really, it's like, okay, I'm going to use all my technique skills, right? I coached too. And the PT side, the physical therapy side. And it's like, okay. And it would just not work, not go well. And I just had to let go. I'd say, my body is yours, God, and my spirit is one with yours. And I'm just going to release. I'm going to praise you as I swim and just move and be free. And things would change so massively. So laugh as you're moving, smile as you're moving, praise and worship God as you're moving, and stop trying to do everything so perfect. I understand. I taught a thing recently about squatting differently, but it's because people were trying to do it so perfectly. But yes, it takes a little bit of, yes, I need to just kind of check in. Am I tightening up or am I relaxing? So check in, be present with your body, be aware, be the curious observer, but don't fight and tighten. And it causes pain. Pain is caused when there's not enough oxygen. And if a muscle is just tight all the time, there's not enough oxygen. There's pain, ischemic pain. It's painful. So just know, check out your identity, check out what you're living for. And also, it can be scary to change and be different. And I want you to have hope that there is hope, and to learn to say, no, I can't do that. Like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do, just say no. You don't have to say no. I can't do that because my joints will do this. I can't do that because of these symptoms. I can't do that because I'm tired. No, 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 no excuses. No. Yes, I'll do that. No, I won't do that. And maybe, yes, I'll do that for 10 minutes. That's fine. You don't need to explain. Start learning. That's part of detaching yourself. Not because I have a training zone. I've sent a video about that, I don't know, in the recent couple months. Like, check out training zone. It's not an excuse. Say, and some people don't even know what that is, fine. Okay. But, and limbic impairment, you can have all these different labels. Just chuck them all out and say yes and no. And that's part of, we think like, okay, well, I'm not saying Ehlers-Danlos anymore, but you're still saying excuses for everything. It's totally okay to say no. I'm not saying just don't care and, suddenly go running for an hour when you haven't walked 2 minutes. No, just say no, though. You don't need a reason, and it really will help you disidentify from the past and from sickness and from limitations, and it changes your DNA. It changes how the muscles work. It changes how, the oxygen in your muscles. It's amazing. And then in somatics, we learn to just care for our body, curiously observing, caring for our body, not fixing it because it's broken, but caring for it without judgment. It's so amazing. And in self-lymph massage, we do the same thing. We care for it. We get to participate in caring for this beautiful, awesome, wonderful body, not because I'm broken, but because my body is amazing and it does things for me all day, and I'm going to care for it. So anyway, I hope that helps. I want these two videos kind of linked together because I don't want somebody to think, okay, wow, okay, I have to have tissue improvement to heal. But I really wanted to say those things for encouragement that our tissue does change, our structure does change. And now toss it all, walk in freedom. Okay. Have a wonderful day. JanetMassey.com if you want to join us. Let me know your opinions, your comments, your shares on this. I'd love to hear. We can have a conversation in the comments.